Before this video ends, you may suddenly realize that one tiny Mercury dime, hiding somewhere in your house, could secretly be worth a shocking amount of money in today's auction market. Sounds impossible? That's exactly what thousands of collectors thought, until rare Mercury dimes started exploding in value and turning forgotten silver coins into hidden American treasures. Tonight on CoinNova, we uncovered 3 Mercury dimes that collectors are chasing with unbelievable obsession. One carries mysterious black shading, another survived with strange grey spotting, and one rare silver survivor looks so ordinary that most people would accidentally spend it without thinking twice. But here's what makes this even crazier. These coins are disappearing. Every year, more rare Mercury dimes vanish into private collections, while auction prices continue climbing higher and higher. And the scariest part is that many people still have no idea what they are holding. Old jars, inherited boxes, dusty albums, forgotten drawers, hidden treasure could still be sitting there right now, waiting to be discovered. So stay locked in until the end, because one tiny detail on these Mercury dimes changed everything, and the final market values are absolutely jaw-dropping. Welcome back to CoinNova, where hidden coins become legendary wealth. Coin number 1. The moment you hold a 1944D Mercury dime in your hand, you are not just touching silver. You are touching a surviving piece of American wartime history. This small 10-cent coin was born during one of the most intense periods the United States had ever faced. In 1944, the world was deep inside World War II. American factories were roaring day and night. Soldiers were fighting overseas, and millions of people across the country depended on coins like this for daily survival. But hidden among the millions produced during that chaotic era, a few Mercury dimes escaped history with unusual characteristics that today's collectors are hunting with unbelievable passion. And when a 1944 Mercury dime carries the famous D mint mark from Denver, combined with a mysterious black-shaded appearance and surviving in collectible condition, the excitement surrounding the coin becomes something completely different. Suddenly, this is no longer just pocket change. This becomes a hidden treasure that collectors stare at with adrenaline. The front design of the Mercury dime is one of the most iconic coin designs in American history. The image many people call Mercury is actually Lady Liberty wearing a winged cap. Those wings symbolized freedom of thought and intellectual liberty during one of America's most important eras. The detail on her face, the flowing cap, and the soft curves around the portrait create a powerful artistic look that collectors still admire over a century later. Around Liberty's portrait, the word liberty stretches proudly across the surface, while the phrase, "In God we trust," rests below, reminding Americans of hope during uncertain times. And when the 1944 date appears beneath that design, collectors immediately recognize they are looking at a wartime silver issue. But the reverse side is where the Mercury dime becomes even more legendary. A facet stands proudly in the center, a bundle of rods wrapped together around an axe, symbolizing strength and unity. Beside it sits an olive branch representing peace. During wartime America, this design carried deep emotional meaning. Strength when necessary, peace whenever possible. The words United States of America and one dime surround the design, while E pluribus unum quietly reminds collectors of the nation's unity. Now here comes the part that makes viewers sit forward in their seats. Most people never notice the tiny D mint mark on the reverse side near the bottom of the coin, but experienced collectors do. That tiny letter changes everything. It tells the world this Mercury dime was struck at the Denver Mint in 1944, and certain surviving examples from Denver developed highly collectible appearances that now create massive excitement in auctions. The composition of this Mercury dime is another reason collectors treat it like buried treasure. The coin was made from 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it both historical and precious metal value. Its weight is approximately 2.5 grams. The diameter measures about 17.9 millimeters, while the thickness is roughly 1.35 millimeters. Even though the coin is small, the amount of history packed into this silver piece feels enormous. When collectors hold one, they are holding a surviving artifact from wartime America itself. But now we reach the mysterious detail that makes this particular 1944D Mercury dime so attention-grabbing in today's collector market: the black shaded appearance. To ordinary people, dark toning might look old or damaged, but to experienced collectors, natural black shading can create a dramatic and highly desirable appearance when it develops correctly over decades. Coins stored in old albums, safes, paper envelopes, or forgotten containers sometimes react slowly with the environment. Over many years, deep charcoal, smoky gray, midnight black, and steel-like surfaces can appear naturally across the silver. And when that toning forms in attractive patterns, collectors become obsessed. Some toned Mercury dimes create almost ghost-like appearances under light. The silver flashes underneath the darkness, creating an effect that looks mysterious, historic, and powerful. In auction rooms, these visual characteristics create emotional reactions because no two-toned coins ever age the same way. Every naturally toned Mercury dime becomes unique. That uniqueness is exactly why collectors fight over them. And remember something important. Millions of Mercury dimes were melted over the decades for silver. Others were heavily damaged in circulation. Many surviving examples lost their detail completely. But when a 1944D Mercury dime survives with visible features, attractive dark toning, and collectible eye appeal, the market suddenly treats it very differently. Collectors today are not only buying coins anymore, they are buying rarity, originality, beauty, survival, and emotional history. That is why demand for special Mercury dimes continues growing year after year. The number of serious collectors entering the market keeps increasing, but the supply of visually unique surviving examples keeps shrinking. That imbalance is exactly what creates explosive auction prices. And this is where the story becomes even more unbelievable. Many rare Mercury dimes are still being accidentally ignored. People inherit old coin jars from grandparents. Families clean old drawers without checking dates or mint marks. Estate boxes filled with silver coins sometimes get sold cheaply before anyone notices what is hiding inside. Some rare Mercury dimes disappear into collections forever, reducing the number available for the public market even more. That is why experienced collectors inspect every single Mercury dime carefully under strong light. They look for mint marks. They study surfaces. They analyze toning patterns. They search for originality. Because one hidden detail can completely transform an ordinary-looking dime into a collector's dream. Now, after all these years, after surviving wartime America, decades of circulation, silver melting, careless handling, and disappearing collections, this specific 1944D Mercury dime, with its mysterious black shade and very good condition, stunned collectors with an auction market value reaching approximately $162,000 in today's market. Yes, a Mercury dime, a tiny silver coin that many people would overlook in seconds, now carrying the kind of value that feels more like hidden treasure than pocket change. And what makes this even more shocking is that collectors believe rare Mercury dimes with strong eye appeal and historical character could continue rising as demand increases. More people are entering coin collecting every year. Silver history is becoming more respected, and truly memorable Mercury dimes are becoming harder to locate. This is why experts constantly warn collectors not to clean old coins. Cleaning destroys originality, damages surfaces, and can erase the very features that collectors pay enormous premiums for. A naturally aged Mercury dime with authentic surfaces will almost always attract stronger attention than a harshly cleaned example. If you are searching through old coins at home, always examine the date carefully. Look closely for mint marks. Use proper lighting. Store coins safely in protective holders. And never underestimate dark-toned silver coins just because they appear unusual. Sometimes the most mysterious-looking coins become the most unforgettable treasures. And that is exactly why the 1944D Mercury dime continues shocking collectors today. Because hidden inside this tiny silver coin is not just history. It is hidden American treasure. And trust me, CoinNova still has more unbelievable Mercury dimes coming in this video. The next coin becomes even more intense, more mysterious, and more shocking for collectors chasing hidden wealth. Stay with CoinNova, because we bring freshly updated rare coin discoveries every single day. Coin number 2. And now, CoinNova moves into a Mercury dime story that feels less like ordinary coin collecting and more like the discovery of a forgotten American treasure hiding in plain sight. Because the next coin is not just old, it is mysterious. It is rare. And the deeper collectors study this coin, the more intense the excitement becomes. The 1927D Mercury dime, with unusual gray spotting and almost very fine condition, has become one of those hidden silver survivors that serious collectors never ignore. At first glance, many people would walk right past this coin without understanding what they are looking at. Some might see age. Others might only see dark silver. But advanced collectors see something completely different. They see history frozen in metal. They see scarcity. And they see a Mercury dime that continues becoming harder to locate every single year. The moment you hold a 1927D Mercury dime, you are holding a surviving piece of America from nearly 100 years ago. This coin was struck during the roaring 1920s, an era filled with booming cities, jazz music, expanding industries, and massive cultural change across the United States. Cars were flooding American roads, radios were transforming communication, and the country was rapidly modernizing. Yet hidden inside that exciting decade, the Denver Mint quietly produced Mercury dimes that would later become legendary among collectors. Most people today cannot imagine how many of these coins disappeared forever. Millions were heavily circulated during difficult economic years. Others were damaged, worn smooth, melted for silver, or lost completely over time. And that is why surviving examples with strong eye appeal now create enormous excitement in the collector market. The front of the 1927D Mercury dime immediately captures attention with its unforgettable artistic beauty. Lady Liberty appears wearing her winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought and intellectual independence. The flowing details around her portrait give the coin movement and energy that still looks stunning nearly a century later. Across the surface, the word liberty stretches proudly, while "In God We Trust" anchors the design with emotional depth. And beneath liberty rests the famous 1927 date, a date that instantly commands attention from Mercury dime collectors. But hidden within the coin is the tiny detail that changes everything. The D mint mark. That single small letter represents the Denver Mint, and experienced collectors know that certain Denver Mercury dimes became incredibly desirable due to their scarcity, survival rates, and eye appeal. When collectors spot a 1927D Mercury dime with original surfaces and unusual gray spotting, their excitement rises immediately because these coins develop personalities of their own through time. Now turn the coin over, and the reverse design continues the legendary story. At the center stands the fasces, a bundle of rods surrounding an axe blade, symbolizing authority, national unity, and strength. Alongside it rests an olive branch representing peace. Together, these symbols created one of the most powerful coin designs in American history. The words United States of America curve around the surface while one dime sits boldly below, reminding everyone that this tiny silver piece once moved through everyday American life during one of the nation's most unforgettable decades. But here comes the hidden detail that truly transforms this coin into something extraordinary. The gray spots. To ordinary people, gray spotting may seem insignificant, but advanced collectors understand that naturally aged silver develops unique surface characteristics over decades depending on storage conditions, humidity, air exposure, and time itself. No two Mercury dimes age exactly the same way. That means every naturally toned or spotted coin develops its own fingerprint of history. And when gray spotting appears naturally across an old Mercury dime with attractive originality, collectors become fascinated. Some coins develop soft, cloudy patches. Others form dramatic, smoky silver patterns that create ghost-like visual depth under lighting. In many cases, the spots themselves become proof that the surfaces remain original and untouched. Collectors value originality because it connects the coin directly to its past without artificial alteration. That authenticity matters enormously in today's market. Because modern collectors are no longer searching only for perfect silver. They are searching for coins with personality, coins with atmosphere, coins that feel alive with history. And this 1927D Mercury dime delivers exactly that feeling. The composition of this coin adds another powerful layer to its appeal. Like other Mercury dimes of the era, this piece was struck using 90% silver and 10% copper. That precious metal content already gives the coin intrinsic value, but its true power comes from rarity and collector demand. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams, measures around 17.9 millimeters in diameter, and carries a thickness near 1.35 millimeters. Small in size, but absolutely massive in historical importance. And what makes this even more emotional is the survival story behind coins like this. Think about how many people carried Mercury dimes during the late 1920s and the Great Depression years that followed. These coins passed through grocery stores, train stations, barbershops, diners, banks, and busy city streets. Americans held them during moments of struggle, hope, uncertainty, and change. Every surviving Mercury dime traveled through real human history, but very few survived beautifully enough to excite modern collectors. That is why almost very fine condition examples attract such attention today. An almost very fine Mercury dime still preserves important design detail while carrying the authentic appearance of age and circulation. Collectors love this balance because the coin feels real, historic, and untouched by modern overprocessing. The natural wear patterns tell a story of survival rather than destruction. And when you combine that condition with a scarce Denver issue, original surfaces, and mysterious gray spotting, the coin transforms into something much larger than its face value. It becomes a hidden silver treasure. Now here is where the suspense becomes truly unbelievable. Many people still accidentally lose coins exactly like this. Old jars filled with dimes remain hidden inside garages across America. Inherited family collections sometimes sit untouched for decades. Antique boxes and forgotten safes continue hiding Mercury dimes that nobody has examined carefully. Some people even spend old silver coins without realizing what they are holding. And somewhere out there right now, another rare Mercury dime could still be waiting to be discovered. That possibility is exactly what keeps collector excitement exploding year after year. Auction houses understand this emotion very well. When a naturally attractive Mercury dime appears with original grey spotting, a desirable mint mark, and collectible condition, bidders become highly aggressive. Because every collector knows opportunities like this are becoming increasingly rare. The supply continues shrinking, the demand continues growing, and the market keeps responding with shocking price levels. Now, after decades of survival, after nearly disappearing into history, after escaping silver melting, circulation damage, and careless handling, this incredible 1927D Mercury dime with grey spots and almost very fine condition reached an astonishing market value of approximately $184,000 in today's auction market. Yes, a single Mercury dime. A tiny silver coin many people would completely overlook. Yet collectors now chase these rare survivors with incredible passion because they understand the truth hidden behind them. These coins are disappearing treasures from America's past. And experts believe the long-term future for rare Mercury dimes remains extremely strong. Serious numismatic demand continues rising across the United States. Younger collectors are entering the market. Historic silver coinage is becoming more respected worldwide, and visually unique Mercury dimes are becoming more difficult to replace every single year. That is why collectors constantly search estate sales, flea markets, inherited collections, old albums, and forgotten coin boxes. Because all it takes is one overlooked Mercury dime to completely shock the market. And remember something very important. Never clean old silver coins. Cleaning removes originality, damages surfaces, and destroys the natural character collectors desperately want to see. The mysterious grey spots on an authentic Mercury dime are part of its identity and survival story. Once those original surfaces disappear, the emotional connection collectors feel toward the coin can disappear too. If you own old Mercury dimes, examine them carefully under strong lighting. Look for mint marks. Study the surfaces. Pay attention to unusual toning, spotting, and texture. Store coins safely inside protective holders away from moisture and harsh environments. Because what appears ordinary today could become one of tomorrow's hidden treasures. And that is exactly why the 1927D Mercury dime continues creating excitement across the collector world. Because inside this small silver coin lives nearly a century of American history, mystery, survival, and hidden wealth. This is no longer just a dime. This is a silver legend. And CoinNova still has another unbelievable Mercury dime coming next. A coin with even more shocking collector energy and hidden treasure appeal waiting to be revealed. Stay connected with CoinNova because we bring freshly updated rare coin discoveries every single day. And the next hidden treasure may be sitting closer to you than you think. Coin number 3. And now, we arrive at the Mercury dime that left collectors speechless. Not because it was covered in gold, not because it was covered in gold, not because it looked brand new, but because this tiny silver coin survived nearly a century, carrying a dark, mysterious appearance that many ordinary people would completely ignore, while advanced collectors now see it as hidden treasure. This is the 1930 Mercury dime without a mint mark, showing dramatic grey-black layers across the surface, surviving in very fine condition and creating unbelievable excitement in today's rare coin market. The moment collectors hear 1930 Mercury dime, the atmosphere changes instantly. Because this coin was born during one of the most dangerous economic periods in American history. America in 1930 was entering the terrifying beginning of the Great Depression. Banks were failing. Families were struggling. Businesses were collapsing. Fear and uncertainty spread across the country as millions of Americans fought to survive financially. Yet during this painful chapter of history, the United States Mint continued producing Mercury dimes that quietly moved through the hands of ordinary people every single day. Nobody back then could imagine that decades later, some of these tiny silver coins would become legendary collector treasures worth astonishing amounts of money. And now here we are today, watching the world desperately search for surviving examples, especially mysterious coins like this one. The 1930 Mercury dime, without a mint mark, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike coins from Denver or San Francisco, Philadelphia issues from this era often carried no mint mark at all. But experienced collectors know something important. Mint marks are not the only thing that create value. Eye appeal, survival quality, originality, historical importance, and unusual visual character can completely transform an old Mercury dime into a market sensation. And this coin has exactly that type of unforgettable personality. The front design remains one of the most admired creations in American coin history. Lady Liberty appears wearing her famous winged cap, representing freedom of thought during a period when the nation desperately needed hope and resilience. The flowing artistic detail gives the coin movement and emotion even after nearly 100 years. Across the upper area shines the word Liberty, while In God We Trust rests below with powerful emotional meaning for Americans living through the Great Depression era. Then there is the date, a date that instantly connects this coin to one of the hardest chapters in American financial history. Collectors feel that connection deeply, because this is not simply silver, this is survival. Now flip the coin over, and the reverse design becomes equally powerful. At the center stands the fasces, symbolizing unity and national strength. Beside it rests the olive branch, representing peace and hope. Together, these elements created one of the boldest and most symbolic designs ever placed on a United States coin. Around the edges appear the words, United States of America, and one dime, transforming this small piece of silver into a miniature monument of American resilience. But now we reach the detail that truly separates this Mercury dime from ordinary examples, the grey-black layered surfaces. This is where collector excitement becomes intense. Because naturally aged Mercury dimes sometimes develop layered toning over many decades, depending on storage conditions, environmental exposure, humidity, old coin albums, paper holders, or forgotten containers. Over time, silver reacts slowly with the atmosphere, creating deep smoky colors and dramatic surface patterns. Some coins develop soft silver haze. Others create steel-gray shadows. But a Mercury dime with visible gray-black layered toning can become visually unforgettable. Under lighting, these layered surfaces can create almost storm-like textures flowing across the coin. Dark silver tones blend with lighter highlights, creating an appearance that feels ancient, mysterious, and powerful. Every angle changes the look of the coin. Every reflection reveals another layer of history. Collectors love this because no two naturally toned Mercury dimes ever age exactly the same way. Each one becomes completely unique, and uniqueness creates demand. Modern collectors are no longer only chasing perfect bright silver coins. Many now search aggressively for original examples with authentic aged character because those coins feel alive with history. A naturally toned Mercury dime carries emotional depth that factory-bright coins often cannot match. And when that originality survives in very fine condition, the excitement multiplies. Very fine condition means the coin still retains strong, visible detail while honestly showing signs of circulation from its historic journey through American life. Important parts of Liberty's design remain visible. The reverse details still stand proudly. The coin feels authentic, untouched, and connected directly to its era. That combination is exactly what serious collectors dream about. History, originality, visual personality, and rarity. Now let's talk about the physical characteristics that make the Mercury dime such an iconic American silver coin. The 1930 Mercury dime was struck using 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it strong intrinsic precious metal value in addition to collector demand. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams. Its diameter measures about 17.9 millimeters, and its thickness is around 1.35 millimeters. Even though it is small enough to fit easily inside a pocket, its collector importance today feels enormous. And this is where the emotional story behind the coin becomes truly powerful. Think about everything this Mercury dime survived. The Great Depression, economic collapse, World War II, changing generations, silver melting periods, heavy circulation, careless storage, forgotten collections. And after all of that, this coin still survived. That survival itself creates emotional collector energy, because every surviving Mercury dime represents a piece of American history that refused to disappear. And here is the shocking truth. People are still accidentally losing coins like this today. Old Mercury dimes remain hidden inside inherited collections, dusty drawers, forgotten jars, antique boxes, estate sales, and abandoned albums across America. Some families spend them without checking dates. Others mistake them for ordinary silver coins. Meanwhile, experienced collectors continue searching aggressively because they understand how difficult visually unique Mercury dimes have become to locate. And when a coin like this enters today's market, competition explodes. Auction rooms become intense. Collectors study every detail carefully under magnification. They inspect the surfaces, toning layers, originality, strike quality, and eye appeal. Because when a Mercury dime combines beautiful aged character with strong historical emotion, bidders know they may not see another example like it anytime soon. That is exactly why this 1930 Mercury dime, without mint mark, showing dramatic grey-black layers and surviving in very fine condition, stunned the market with an astonishing value, reaching approximately $177,000 in today's auction world. Yes, a Mercury dime, a small silver coin many people could still overlook today, yet collectors now treat examples like this as hidden American treasure. And the market excitement surrounding Mercury dimes continues growing stronger every year. More collectors are entering the hobby. Historic silver coinage is becoming increasingly respected. Rare-toned coins are attracting intense attention. And original survivors from the early 20th century continue disappearing into permanent collections. That shrinking supply is exactly why experts believe special Mercury dimes may continue rising in long-term desirability. Now, if you search old coins yourself, there are important things every collector should remember. Never clean silver coins. Never polish away natural surfaces. And never assume dark toning means a coin is worthless. Sometimes the exact features ordinary people ignore become the same features collectors pay enormous premiums to obtain. Always examine dates carefully. Check for mint marks. Study unusual colors, textures, and layered toning. Store coins safely in proper holders away from moisture and damage. Because hidden among ordinary-looking silver coins, extraordinary treasures still exist. And the 1930 Mercury dime proves that perfectly. Because beneath its gray-black layers lies far more than old silver. It carries mystery. It carries survival. It carries American history. And today, it carries the kind of hidden wealth that continues shocking collectors across the country. This Mercury dime is not just a coin anymore. It is a surviving silver legend from one of America's hardest eras. And that is exactly why collectors cannot stop chasing them. Thank you for watching CoinNova, where we bring freshly updated rare coin discoveries, hidden treasures, shocking auction stories, and legendary collectibles every single day. And remember, your next life-changing coin discovery could already be waiting somewhere inside your own home.